YouTube channel. We do pony abridged series parodies, that kind of thing. Oh, we've got another abridger over here as well. He's done some things.
Hello.
Is Don somewhere for Mentally Advanced and Rainbow Dash Presents. He's my... Now, where was that for me? He's my moral support tonight, so he'll just be lurking in the back there. You know.
They told me I was on Jack's panel, but they didn't tell him. So
He's the draw. That's why there's so many of you come over to. Even though he didn't know he was on, or I didn't know he was on. And probably you didn't. An inspiration.
I could be both.
But yeah. Well, I made something that you should not watch called Bean Quest. And that was my first attempt at making an abridged series thing. And then it was one day I sat down like, wow, Bean Quest is so great, I'm gonna compare it to all the other pony abridged series. And we set up, I think it was the Baroni Chronicles, Mentally Advanced, Sherlock, or the Friendships of Witchcraft, and then like something else. I forgot what it was. And then we sat down like, oh yeah, ours is better than this. And then we got finally into the Mentally Advanced series, and I just picked a random episode 7, and that happened to be like a really, really good episode. And I was like, oh, maybe I should do something else. And so then that kind of led into making Scooter Tricks, actually, instead of Bean Quest. If you are curious about Bean Quest, though, you can see it. We re-released it on April Fool's Day many years ago, and it's kind of bad. But yes, that's kind of, so yes, in a way, Mentally Advanced was definitely an inspiration. Mainly the manipulation of the footage and just how just chemistry between the characters. So that was just a big thing. So yeah, we can do some questions right now since this is a pretty presentation video heavy panel, so we can do some Q&A. Do that first if you want. So raise your hand if you have any questions. Yes, in the middle.
What's your favorite pony?
Yes. it is the great and powerful Trixie. It's always been Trixie. Even before I watched My Little Pony, it was Trixie. Yes, in the front there.
What would the Scooter Tricks version of Yona be like?
Of Yona? Let's see. I don't know. I have not given it much thought. What would you think? What do you think Yona is in Scooter Tricks? Do you know who Yona is?
I know who Yona is.
Oh, good. That's a good start.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
You mean the Zora princess or the yak?
Yeah,
I assume the yak, right? Yes, the yak.
that's Yona.
That's such a weird one, because that was once they got into like the friendship school, and those characters were nowhere near as well defined. Like Yona's thing was that she was foreign. I would just make her incredibly foreign. I think like Rolf from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
There you go. Incredibly foreign.
You're
Ralph
going
from
to
Ed, Edd n Eddy.
So where the hammer
Yes.
of
In the front there.
Considering this is a G1 panel, who's your favorite G1 pony?
So I don't have her model up here, but it is Fizzy. And I'll be talking more about Fizzy later on in the panel, don't worry. Yes. I also do like Shady though as well. That's another top tier horse for me. Yes.
Can you actually name all those ponies?
I can try.
Okay.
We got Shady, Gusty, Fizzy, Magic Star, Applejack, Twilight, Firefly, Buttons, Gusty, Paradise. We said Gusty, hang on. Paradise. A lot. I can name a lot. I know everyone to the G1 is genius, actually. For a start here, I think everyone was here when we introduced ourselves. So, yeah. So, I lost my train of thought. All right. Okay. So, hang on. G1 is genius. My train of thought. Where was it?
I'm here. You were there. We're at the con. It is time to start.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, real quick. So, who here has seen G1?
Every episode.
My people, excellent.
I
Who
was
here
a
has never
child.
seen G1? Or has only seen like Midnight Castle or something?
I had the entirety of the
Okay.
G1 series before, but unfortunately,
I tried rewatching it as an adult and was
Yeah,
traumatized.
excuses.
I lost
Okay, so yes, I was where you guys were once. So I've been a brony for about 10 years now, and in the vast majority of that time, I really didn't look into G1 at all, or any of the earlier generations, because they kind of looked dumb and bland and boring. Even Lauren Faust has said in some interviews that she hated the older generations, or at least one of them. I forgot which one. So it's it's like, oh, what is there in G1? But a couple of years ago, I was watching a video by Shunks. Shout out to Shunks, by the way, and her G1 iceberg video. And I just had this thing on in the background, and every once in a while they would mention something that happens in the show, and I would like look up and go like, really? That happens? What? And by the end of the iceberg, I was kind of sitting there going like, well, I've been sleeping on G1? Hang on, wait. And so I start looking more into it. And I will tell you one of the things that was in the iceberg video. This is sort of the premise of one of the episodes. Okay. So there's an episode that starts off where the ponies are playing a game of hide and seek. And one of the baby ones, baby Ribbon, she's about to get found out. She's one of these baby unicorns, and she teleports to avoid getting found. And of course, this is against the rules, and it's like, you can't do that, come back, but she doesn't come back. And Ribbon, the mom, is like, she gets a little worried because this is a baby unicorn, hasn't really, she's still developing her powers and everything, so she also teleports to go and find her. And also doesn't come back. So then everyone gets a little worried now, so they decide to go back to the Paradise Estate to see if they went back there. But no one has seen them since the game of hide and seek. Galaxy, another unicorn, offers to go look for them, but before anyone can stop her, she teleports and does not come back. So there's then this mad dash to try and find all the other unicorns and warn them, hey, there's something going on, don't teleport. But of course, every single one of them ultimately does. And there are no more unicorns left, and they are all gone. Where did they go? What happened to them? We then cut to this brief scene of Ribbon waking up in this ancient, decrepit, abandoned city, out in some endless, foggy void. She's completely alone. Or is she? So I see this, and I'm like, oh my God, what else is in G1? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. I end up binging the whole thing, and we're going to talk about a couple of key factors that I think are just insane in Generation 1. So the three main things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the portrayal of ponies, the characters, and the episode concepts, ideas, and lore. So right off the bat, we need to go over something very important here. Oh, there we go. The appeal of the pony. Okay, so there's one very important thing that we need to understand about ponies, because if you don't get this one thing, you're not gonna get it. Because you could watch the whole series and think this thing sucks, because there's a lot of flaws in G1. But if you remember this one thing, you will understand. Okay, this one frame, and this one thing is that ponies are not human. I mean, duh, but they're not human, okay? They don't think like humans, they don't talk like humans, and they don't act like humans. They are not human. They are creatures with their own relative intelligence and mental capacity and different wants and desires. Like you imagine, a human desire, right? So world peace or, loving family, that kind of thing. A pony just wants food. Okay, they want to frolic around and play games and have fun. That's all they want, and how they interact with things. Like imagine a human, like texting on a phone. Go ahead. Oh, sure. Text on the phone.
Who do you want me to call?
Just simulate texting.
Do you have
as a human.
romantic partners?
There we go.
I'm gonna tell him.
Very human, right? Thank you very much for the demonstration.
I couldn't even get to the text part.
It looked convincing. I believe it. So you know, very human. With the pony, they're like, it's not working. What am I going to do? They don't know anything. You know.
That's how I was just a second ago.
Exactly. So you've got to remember, ponies are ponies and they're not human. Okay. Now, first, let's talk about something I think everyone has an interest in here. Is that the pony anatomy, right?
Yes.
So, if you ask me, ponies have been, there've been a couple design steps backward, I think, in ponies in recent years. You know, I think, you know, for one thing, I think ponies are getting a little too vertical lately. You know, a little too tall. It's like they need to be lower to the ground and not, and you know, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I like the flat-faced cat creature look from G4. Like it's, you know, it's serviceable. It's very cute. You know, and I'm partial to the brontosaurus look of G4. And the shin with finger leg look. You know, that's. But this, look at this low, grubby little stub right here.
So that's a beanbag chair.
That is a bean. Yes, exactly. Look at this. This is the peak pony design right here. Examine this big brained individual. Peak. There's just something, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They're staring into your soul. Back in the So there's just something about these really clunky, awkward, pony-looking designs that just has this charm and humor to them. I mean, well, ignore Spike here, but like, look at this pony. Look at it, like, that's ready to go. They got a little back. These guys go on high fantasy adventures. These things. They don't know anything. They're like, yeah, what's going on? Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, I also love this. Like, you can just plop this character with. It doesn't matter what's going on. Like, what's happening? You know. Like I also love these little frowns that they have. They're little content, curious. Like, they don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, all right, sure.
They're like cats.
Very important.
Going on.
And then we've got the pony voices. So again, in recent years, I think, like, you know, again, maybe a couple missteps with the pony voices. Like, to me, it just sounds like beautiful sounding people, really, you know? I hope Andrew's not in the room. But they just sound like beautiful sounding, normal, human people. Okay, this is what proper ponies should sound like.
Oh God.
No, Cyclops. Look, all they want is our hair. After that, let us go. I don't know, Gus. I think they want more than that. Well, I did drop my sweatband at the entrance to the cave. You did? Good thinking, Gusty. Yeah, but who's ever gonna find it up here in the Black Mountains?
Why are they in
Won't even
chains?
let us in. Then I say we break it down. Charge! This house looks like it'll last forever, doesn't it? Don't say that. Nothing lasts forever, especially my nerves.
It's just so, they all sound like they have a cold and they need to blow their nose. Just these grubby, dumb, stupid little voices. And they just fit with these boxy designs. And again, the creature, they sound like creatures. Can everyone hear them, by the way? I want to make sure. Okay, wonderful. There's plenty more audio to come. So, oh, there we go. So let's talk about ponyisms. You know, so yes, ponyism is very important. So ponies are very, oh goodness. Oh, I guess I planned the same stuff out, I guess. So ponyism. So ponies are very curious, very friendly, and childlike. You know, they're very brave and dumb and pathetic. Look at this one.
Baby Moon Dancer, where's your costume? Don't have one.
The poor thing. Damn. They just don't know anything. What is this? Oh yes. They're also extremely incompetent. I'm just gonna play this clip and we'll discuss it afterward.
I fail to understand this display of sentiment. It is just a story after all.
Well, Whistler, it's too bad you weren't around when the feelings fairy was passing out feelings.
Ponies what do you mean sometimes? What kind of feelings does she pass out?
So she's very, so you hear this insult, right? This is like I don't know, like a preschool level insult or something, right? But because they're ponies, this is the most devastating thing you could ever say. And it is. Like, Wind Whistler has a whole moment after this. Like, in the moonlight, she's like, you know? Like, you can just devastate these guys with just the simplest things. But it's also funny because that was kind of a dumb insult from Gusty there. So, just wonders.
Yes. Is there a mythology of the feelings fairy among the ponies? Like, do they tell their kids?
Good question.
Yes.
If you're a very
Probably.
good pony, the fairy will come along and make you feel sadness.
I would not be surprised. They should definitely do that. A future, what's this clip? Oh yes, okay. Yeah, I'm remembering what I put in here. You know, like this, again, they don't know anything. Like this is what happens when they find out that a giant eldritch monster is about to attack them.
Into the castle, everyone. A smooth is coming. What's smooth? Will we like it? Is it something nice?
You know, again, they just like playing and running around and eating food. There's, that's nice, this moves. You know,
Maybe that pony got tricked one time. Everyone's like, you gotta run, all the chocolate-covered strawberries are coming. I'm not falling for that again. Am I gonna like them?
possibly that Fizzy is very airheaded, so that is a possibility. But, you know, but it's so wonderful though, because it's like they try their hardest, right? Because they hear about the Smooze, and then once they know that Smooze is a danger, they're like, look at them, they're building up their defenses, building the, you know, digging ditches, even the animals are pitching in, you know, like they're doing everything to build up these defenses. And these defenses do absolutely nothing. They're still like, you know, and there's this beautiful shot of the ponies on the hill, like looking down, like, it's like, no, they tried, but it's just never enough. They're not, you know, they try, but they're just not confident enough to pull stuff off. So now let's talk about the characters. Forgive me if I forget some things in here, because I did not rehearse this as well as some other bits. So, I've got 3 characters, since we're a little low on time, that I want to focus on. The first up, we got Fizzy. So Fizzy's probably my favorite character. Fizzy's probably my favorite character in the entire show. She is the peak, she is the pinnacle of what ponies should be. She is extremely friendly and kind. You saw a bit of her just now. You know, but she's also airheaded and kind of dumb, which is great for a pony. You know, again, adds to that charm. But she's always very friendly, and this is just a little compilation of her, some highlights of her that I rather like.
I'm busy. We're little ponies. Say hi to the bush lilies for me, and I'm going with you. Unicorns are good luck. And good company, too. What's smooth? Will we like it? Is it something nice? What's wrong with you? Well, I've never tried to make such big bubbles, Megan. I'm sure he's here somewhere. He has to be here. Oh, it's beautiful, Mr. Moochick. Did they come back? Gee, I don't see why a little pony can't be enthusiastic once in a while. Gee, Wind Whistler, that's beautiful. I love the way you talk. Gee, what a shame. Bye, Draggle. See ya.
So that's Fizzy, absolutely wonderful. I love her color scheme. I love her red eyes. I think that's just kind of an interesting thing for a very positive, good character. You know, maybe she has rose-tinted glasses. Maybe. Speaking of which, those are gemstones in her eyes. As that's a trait of the twinkle-eye ponies. Why do the twinkle-eye ponies have gems in their eyes, you ask?
They can't see
Well,
without
we'll
them.
get into that later when we talk about the lore.
Marketing for
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely fantastic. And this is something that really surprised me when going into G1 is that all the characters are actually very distinct from each other. Like you always hear about Applejack and Twilight and Firefly, each of whom have like 5 lines in one short, the Midnight Castle special. And these are the most like memorable characters. Even though there's like 20 plus other characters with like, you know, all this chemistry with each other. You know, but yeah, absolutely love Fizzy. Favorite character in the show. That said, we got Shady, who might be the best character in the entire show. So Shady is absolutely pathetic. She's the Eeyore of the group. Actually, if you know, I'm sure you're all familiar with Mentally Advanced. Very similar to the yellow one, actually. That's the kind of character we're talking about here. So we'll dig into what she's. I hope you won't get too annoyed with her.
It's this reason why a lot of fans don't like her.
Can I go with you? I never get to go anywhere. Oh no, she's nothing but bad luck. Something must be wrong. Something doesn't have to be wrong, Shady. I've never been very good at polo. If only I hadn't been so overly sensitive. Maybe it's going to rain. Maybe we'll get all wet and catch pneumonia.
Oh, there's
You
sunglasses.
shouldn't have come. It's all my fault, I know it. Yeah, it is. You're bad luck. We can't find them. I tried, I really did. We looked everywhere on us. Now I'm not only useless, but I'm a deserter besides. But where's here? We're lost, I just know it. We're not
I thought
lost,
she was
Shady.
fighting with
Relax.
Even Shady gets annoyed, or even Fizzy gets annoyed with Shady. It's great. Everyone gets annoyed with her. They're always like, she tries, but she's just so pathetic and useless. And so I absolutely adore Shady, and I think she has a lot of potential to grow too as a character, you know. So next up we got, actually no, we have more Shady here. Another reason why Shady's great. So she has this little subplot in the movie where she basically is tasked with finding Baby Lickety Split. And then she doesn't find Baby Lickety Split, and then Baby Lickety Split just comes back on her own. And so we have literally like a whole side plot that just goes nowhere and is just filler. But these are also some of the best scenes in the movie.
We'll never find Lickety Split. Never. Everything looks like everything else.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, what if the smooth got him?
The smooth got him. Oh no.
It's not for sure, Bush Woolly. Come on, we have to keep looking.
Yeah, keep looking, keep looking.
I'm sorry, Bush Woolly. I didn't mean to make you cry.
When you cry, I cry.
I'm just sad. We haven't found Spike Lickety Split. I guess I'm a failure.
A failure. Yeah, you failed.
Everything I say.
Even Shady gets annoyed with Shady. It's great. That thing that she was talking to is called a bush willy, by the way. And their whole gimmick is that they repeat and agree with everything you say. So I think it's just really funny that Shady almost like starts giving herself confidence because she's just arguing with herself almost. But yeah, absolutely wonderful. But then, yeah, next up we got Wizard. I'll get this out of the way. Yeah, her design kind of sucks. It looks like she has a Tide Pod on her head. But that's okay because everything else about her is great. So the writers for her were like, Wizard's the fastest pony. Okay, she's the fastest flyer. But she doesn't just fly fast. She also thinks fast and she talks fast. And then they also gave her like this weird nerd voice. And the result just sounds like this.
Where in the world have you been? Have you heard about that kidnapping? Come on, you're coming with me. It's okay, I found the seashells. Now what's next? Come up with the red cover. Okay, let's go back to Paradise Estate and check the library.
It was a
Yeah, he lines are
It was? Oh, wow, look over there. Hey, what are the Bush Boys doing here? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'll check it out. It is a fire.
So yeah, so freedom. One of
unfortunate name for a racehorse. I mean, what's one thing that racehorses are often associated with? They had, I mean, you can't just say it was the 80s and the slang wasn't there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's a couple of names like that. I think there's Morning Glory and all sorts of. So just a couple ponies. There are plenty others though. Wind Whistlers, you saw a bit of Wind Whistler there, a bit of Gusty. Gusty's a really great one. But now let's talk about the concepts, ideas, and lore. And I'll speed this along since we're a little tight on time. So first, let's talk about the game balance. So one thing I really like about G1 is that all the races kind of feel balanced a little bit, and it's sort of demonstrated in the movie. So there's a scene where there's 3 ponies, a unicorn, Earth Pony, and Pegasus are faced with this dilemma. They have to cross a gorge that is filled with smooths. The Pegasus, of course, just flies across because they can just do that. The unicorn teleports across, as you can kind of see there. That's that little magic flare. And they say this after stating that they can't jump the gorge. And then the Earth Pony clears the gorge with humans on her back. So this kind of shows that basically, like, the Earth Ponies are the fastest, and I like to think, or the strongest rather. The strongest, I'd probably say the fastest, probably a bit bulkier than the other two. Pegasus can fly, which has obviously numerous advantages, and then unicorns are just kind of broken. Well, broken, but not. So they have powers, but they're also kind of limited. So they each have a special magic ability, and then they can also each teleport. That's base kit for them. And the way that teleporting works is, so you have a unicorn in a room, okay? And as long as there's an open space, they can teleport through the open space. So there you go. But if the space is closed, they can still teleport, but they can only teleport within the room, and they can't teleport outside of the room. So this is kind of a way for the riders to get away with, like, or, you know, like in G4, it's like, why didn't Twilight teleport here? When, you know, why didn't she teleport up the mountain for the dragon? You know, or whatever. There's limitations to it. And then the magic power thing too, I think is kind of cool because each character has a specific limited power. So you take Fizzy, for example, her whole power is bubbles. She can create bubbles, which sounds kind of useless, but it's actually one of the coolest powers in the show because the bubbles are really dynamic. She has to use them in creative ways. So for example, she can use bubbles to pick stuff up. She uses bubbles as a parachute at one point, which was neat. She uses a bubble to put it over her head so she can breathe underwater as she's swimming down, you know, to find something. So it's like there's some really cool ideas that they do with these limitations. And oftentimes they'll put characters together where it's like, oh, this character can levitate stuff, and then they can only levitate stuff, and this character can read minds, so they can only do this stuff, you know. So they kind of have to do, like, get creative with the different scenarios that they're in. And then, of course, we have the sea ponies, which there should be sea ponies. I'll just play this clip here because they're just so, well, you'll see.
Wanna play with us? A game? Oh, that would be great. Oh, but I can't swim very well. You can play right where you
They're cheeky. I love it. So I love the idea that you just have these baby sea ponies like just inhabiting the lakes and rivers of Ponyland, and you just have these stupid little floaties as well for some reason. Yeah.
Their stupid little float. This is like saying, why do people have stupid chairs? They get tired.
I guess that's fair. That's fair. I like to think because these are the baby sea ponies, so that they have trouble swimming. So, you know, and then when they grow old, they go and migrate to the ocean. So, you know. So then we've got the stakes. So the stakes in My Little Pony G1 are actually pretty high. I wouldn't say that the show is dark necessarily, but there's a lot of stuff that, you know, the implications are kind of crazy. I'll go through a couple scenarios here of what happens to them. So the ponies, you know, they get captured, they get almost impaled to death. They fall to their death, frozen to death, dehydrated and dried out to death, turned into stone, turned into glass, eaten alive, drowned in mud, drowned in lava, turned into hideous, mindless monsters, almost crushed to death, captured and enslaved, hentai'd to death, aged to death almost caramelized to death. This one almost dies from her mom's shoes being separated.
What?
That's what the episode was. And then you've got the concepts. Okay, so first let's talk about the smooths. Okay, if you think about it, this is kind of like insane. This is like an insanely cool concept. This is essentially a flood. Excuse me, a flood. Okay, and already a flood is terrifying. But this is a sentient flood. So this flood is out to get you. It's out to murder you. Okay, so you imagine, and this is in My Little Pony, like this thing is terrifying, and like I just imagine if they redid Pony at some point or redid G1, you could literally go all in on this thing, and it would be just a nightmare. You can't stop it, you can't kill it. It's got so many heads. This thing is just unstoppable, and it's such a cool, like eldritch monster idea, and it's in My Little Pony.
And when it doesn't touch you, it brings out your negative qualities.
That's true as well. Then we got another idea, and this is, I just love this concept. I'll just play this. This is basically the ponies, they're very bad at fixing things at their house, so they decide to get some paint that magically fixes things when they paint it. But the paint turns everything to life, so all the furniture comes to life, and then the furniture kicks the ponies out of their house. And it's great.
What's going on, Paradise? The whole place is getting so pushy.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Watch it! Don't trample the petunias! Sorry, I'll be more careful.
Lay off! The roses don't need much water.
Okay.
This nag doesn't know what to do. She only gets in the way.
I say get rid of her! I'll do better, I promise! But that's our home! Not anymore, sweet stuff!
It's great. And then of course we have the twinkle-eyed ponies. I'm trying to make this quick. So the twinkle-eyed ponies, as I mentioned before. So this is in the comics, which are actually also really whimsical and all sorts of crazy ideas. But basically, there's Applejack of all ponies. She's walking around and she stumbles across this cave. She's curious, so she goes inside and she finds this open cavern and all these gemstones. And in the middle of it all, you have this wizard. And he's sitting on his throne of gemstones, and surrounding him are all these ponies and gems. And he says, "Welcome to my gem cave. You are now my slave, and will mine gemstones for me." So he enchains Applejack and sets her to work. And as she's working on the gems, she talks with some of the other ponies, and they're like, try to escape now, like you still can. Like, because we've been down here so long that the sun burns our eyes. We can't see when we leave the cave. And Applejack is horrified by this, so she's like, "I'm not going to take this." So she breaks her chains, rushes to the throne and smashes it to 1,000 pieces, which go all over the place. And the wizard tumbles into the abyss, never to be seen again. And Applejack's like, "Come on, everyone, get out of here, follow my voice." And they all follow her into the sunlight. And when they emerge, the ponies that were enslaved there, they have all these gems in their eyes. And because of the little fractures in the gemstones, they can now see in the sunlight for some reason. And as Shunks put it in her video, it's like the gemstones are, a symbol of their salvation, but also a constant reminder of their time with the wizard. Metal. That's such an insanely cool, whimsical little tale that you would never see in a modern pony series.
That actually would be a good G4 plot to show what kind of differences, why people need certain things to get through life. For the twinkle-eyed ponies, they need those gems to see.
Yes, and
I think you might see that in G4 or any other thing if they had crystal ponies to sell.
that's true. Yeah, it's you know, it's possible. Yeah, that was part of those are the twinkle eyes right there. You see some of them. But something else I like, and I'll just let this play for a bit. There's a character called Sweet Stuff, and she's the cutest, sweetest character in the entire show. You know, but she's a twinkle eye pony, which means if this is, you know, canon, she was once a slave. And I like to think like this opens up just a bunch of cool story ideas where, you know, maybe, you know, if you have like she's the sweetest, nicest pony, but if you ever brought up the wizard or anything, she would just kind of go quiet, or just like leave the room or not talk, you know. And then her hair's all messy. And I like to think that like she doesn't comb it because if she combs her hair, she has to look at herself in the mirror, and she can't bear to look at herself because of the eyes. So I don't know, but there's G1 is just full of stuff and potential that you could do with things like that. So, but yeah, and that's it for the G1. A little taste in the time that we have some, I mentioned before I do YouTube, I have some YouTube stuff, yes, we have, one of these is, I've got a couple here. Yes, so, yeah, I like I said, I make parodies, and I'm premiering 2 of them today, so enjoy.
Wait. Sonny, what are you doing here? This is our show. I don't want to be an activist alicorn princess. I want to play rock and roll and live in the 90s. The 90s are over now. Go away. Aw, freak.
Fluttershy, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead.
I'm Posey.
Posey? What are you doing here? We ended racism in the movie. What? No way. Freak.
Lindsay, what are you doing here? With one of your socks on your head. I was trying. Freak. Posey, what are you doing here? This is our show.
No, I'm Bonbon's mom, dear.
You sure?
Yep, Bonbon's mom. My legal name.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was kind of weird for the first half of my life, but after having the second daughter, it all came together, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, life does that sometimes.
Neat.
Fucking weirdo. I'm gonna talk to someone interesting.
One more. No, that's not it. Here we go.
What did I miss? After the smooze was accidentally unleashed onto Ponyland, the witches worked together to save the ponies from a smoozy demise.
I thought we were supposed to just get the snooze back.
Too late for that now. Trying to stop a smooze is like trying to alter a force of nature.
But what about the ponies?
We'll just have to lure them out, relocate them somewhere. A factory that produces adhesive products, perhaps. The ponies are stubborn creatures, so you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. That's why you have to lead the water to the horse.
Oh.
Help me with this. Meanwhile.
Look, it's Shady. She's alive. Did you find baby lickety split? I tried, it really did. I looked everywhere. Honest. Useless. Well, what have you done? We got Megan, that's what.
Hey.
Oh, and her siblings. That's Danny.
Oh, dude, more talking ponies. Awesome.
And that's, Little Megan.
Oh, my name is Molly. Yeah, I'm kind of a horse expert, so, you know.
Molly?
Yeah, Molly.
Molly.
Yeah.
Molly.
Stop it. So, is there like a plan, or? I propose we fight their freak of nature with our own force of nature, the rainbow of light.
Hey, yeah!
Oh, right. That thing.
And so, with the swiftness of Megan's fingers and the supportive stares of the ponies, everyone works together to unleash the rainbow of light.
Is this real?
Get on with it!
So much for that.
Drink.
There we go. Yeah, thank you all very much. We have 3 minutes. If there are any questions or anything?
To close off,
No? Oh, yes, in the front.
what are your thoughts on Majesty?
I like the concept of her. I really like bored god type stuff because that's kind of her thing. Is that she's very powerful. I like how she's nice to the ponies. Like she'll make a playground for them, but then she'll also like turn people into dust or like trap a witch in a painting and then paint over her. You know, I think that's a really cool character.
She turned
Yes.
one witch into 3.
Where do you get the inspiration in the expert trackers video for doing the Hank Hill voice?
I don't know. I think
From Hank Hill, one would assume.
yes, exactly. I don't know. I think it just sort of seemed funny. It was like, oh, what if they were just sort of they just wanted to be neighbors with the pony, or like they don't like the ponies, but they're kind of neighbors with them. And so they like, oh, Hank Hill, he's that's kind of his sort of thing with it. Oh yes, side.
Greg, I'm here to remind you that you have a thing in about 5 minutes up in Buttons Arcade.
Do I?
Was it? No, he's talking to me.
Oh, you. Oh.
Is it really just 5 minutes?
Get out of here.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Go, Artisan.
I've been filming for 46.
I'll see you in a second. Yeah. No, thank you though, for real.
Yes.
Is G1's Rogar better?
We'll see. I have thought about Tambalon. I'm doing some Tambalon stuff, so we'll find out in the front.
Does Bonbon's mom really not have a name, or was that just for the video?
I don't know if she has a name. To me, that's Bon Bon's mom. Yes, in the front there.
So you have a lot of callbacks. Do you tend to wait until you see what the TV latches onto, or do you have a process on if you want to be lines and then you rewind the context for the characters?
So when it comes to running gags, I typically just, a lot of time I will, maybe this isn't the best writing advice, but I will make stuff and then I'll kind of leave it open-ended, so then in time I'm like, oh, I have that thing I can use now and do this, and sometimes it just sort of works out. My mind's blanking on a specific example in the G1 stuff, but yeah, there's some, like the vegan where it's like, where Heartthrob, her whole motivation is she wants to be part of the group, and it doesn't matter if they're captured or about to get destroyed or whatever. She just wants to be a part of the group, and she likes eating meat. So when the Ponies versus the French came along, she just wants to fit in with the French who have captured her. It's like, ooh la la, right? I'm with you guys. That kind of thing. So I'm very opportunistic in that way. So yeah, I think that's probably it. We're at 5 p.m. So thank you all so much for coming out. And special thanks to Greg for emotional support.
Thank you for having me. I hope you felt.
Yes,
You
I
felt
am.
sad.
I feel relieved.
Thanks for watching BABSCON 2024. Stay tuned for future BABSCON 2025, the final countdown for the final BABSCON. Be sure to bring a bunch of pillows, some comfortable PJs, and we'll see you at the slumber party. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.